Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So yesterday I shared a video on the straight direct chat on Wing Chun Legacy. And within that video, I mentioned something called Kuen. I mentioned that the Kuen in the 1850s and the Kuen today are completely different stuff. And so, as usual, many of our Wing Chun friends in the West message me asking me, can I explain more on Kuen? What is it? And also, as usual, there are a few Wing Chuners love to ask me the questions. Hendrik, you talk so much. Have you ever in fight? Ever in fighting? Can whatever you say in your YouTube stand under pressure? So today I like to share with you on this Kuen and this fighting stuff. Hope that we close this case once for all. So let's go. So what is Kuen? Today's Kuen, okay, this is a Chinese word Kuen. Okay, it looked like this. You stand in here in this position, and then you want to capture the center line. Those are called Kuen today. Okay. Now, this is what you see today. But what is Kuen? Let me share with you. Kuen is a common practice in southern Chinese martial art, namely in Canton's martial arts. Wing Chun have Kuen, Hong Sing Choi Lei Fat, who we know that is our brother arts in the anti-Qing uprising. Hong Sing Choi Lei Fat also have Kuen practice or Kuen training. Hong Sing Choi Lei Fat Kuen training is really passed down until today, very complete, in a very complete form. But Wing Chun Kuen have already turned into something like you standing this way and practice all this. I'm sure that you all practice this kind of stuff. Center line, robbing, and those kind of stuff. So what is Kuen? What is the definition of Kuen? Well, let me share with you something, and here for sure you will know once for all what is Kuen. In karate, Kuen practice or Kuen training is Kihong training, meaning you train the basic skill of your martial art style, Kihong. Example in the Western boxing is you have you train your jab, hook, cross. You can train solo in the single techniques, or you can train in combinations if you are solo, and then you can train with your heavy backs. In the training with a partner, you can get somebody to attack you, and then you counter with a single techniques or with a combinations. So all this practice is named as Chai Kuen in the Chinese term. If you look into Chai Lei Fat, they still follow that. But today's Wing Chun is something else already. As you see, I just shared with you. You wrote down in the video that is Chai Kuen, but well, it is not Chai Kuen. Karate, the Chai Kuen, the Western boxing. Your body is the #1 concern. It's not just techniques or I want to get this line or that line. Your body, okay. Now, so how is the ancient 1850s Chai Kuen training is? So I here going to show with you the single techniques how they do. This is a finger strike. Wing Chun basic. You need to get close. That's why you see this strike, it penetrate in. Close body. You look at the body type. This is a Kei Zhang. Right now, you don't see Kei Zhang in Wing Chun anymore, in today's Wing Chun. But Kei Zhang is very important because Kei Zhang is guarding the upper and Bong Zhang is guarding the under. This is a Kei, and this is the Bong, as in Qi Ji Guang. So this is what in the ancient Kei and Bong. And you can see in like the Okinawa Bubishi, they also have Kei. Okay. So I have shared with you 2 basic Wing Chun techniques, but this technique is not hand techniques. You need to know that it's the entire body, and this one it go down to the kneeling stance. And this one is the opponent go down ground kick at you, how you move away. So all this you need to know. It is like the karate, Kihong, or Western boxing basic technique skill training is the entire body go. Okay, it never is standing there face to face and try to rob center line. You don't do that. You need to move your body out. Okay. So, of course, this type of stuff have to evolve with era, because in different era, people using different type of techniques. And just a few months ago, I asked Daniel to get his student to share on what I taught him on this Kei Zhang and how you counter the takedown and so forth. So you can watch this video. It's in my channel, or here I show you a little bit. So, you know, watch that video if you want to watch. And then this is, you see how the Kei Zhang there and how it changes, because it's in the real life when people go in the takedown mode. See the Kei Zhang going down, right? The way the body sinking down. So that's all Kei Zhang. So this is like the karate Kihong or the Western boxing, you know, that your solo, shadow boxing, testing up, experimenting with a single technique, jab, 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 or jab, cross, hook, solo, or have a partner to feed you on the attack, and then you counter. So that is what it is. Chai You don't stand there. It's like this. How can you rush for center line? Okay, and if you look at this, what Daniel is taking the center line on the other angle. So that's hacking. So it is a short strike art. It is a short strike art. It is a short strike art. Shaolin short strike base, and it is Qi Ji Guang tradition. You're going down, people are gonna attack you down. What are you gonna do? You fight here. So it's here, here, here. You see all this I just shared with you. Okay. So that is the checking. That is the basic. So you want in the Chinese Kung Fu, like Hong Xing Chai Lei Fa, the same, you know, in the the older Southern Chinese, traditional Chinese martial art, you need to have this solid checking or solid Ki Hong to know what is the art is about. So this part of the training, if you don't have this part of training, then you really missing a big thing. Okay, like karate, if you don't have the Ki Hong or Hong Xing Chai Lei Fa, you don't have the Chai practice, then what are you practicing? Or the Western boxing, you know, the fundamental, like I just explained to you, if you don't have that, then what you're practicing? You're practicing set, you're practicing Chi Sao, but what are you practicing? Okay, so it's very different than the ancient. Now, so hope that this checking stuff is understood. So you know that there's the mean of fighting. This is the body condition. This is the mean of fighting. Before you can do this fighting, you need to have the checking basic or the Ki Hong, or else, you know, what are you doing? You cannot say I'm doing Wing Chun this way, and then when I fought, I use BJJ, I use Western boxing. Well, that is very clear that it shows that you don't have the Ki Hong. If you practice karate, you do that, people say, well, you don't have the Ki Hong. Okay. Now let's talk about this. Usual people like to ask me this. Hendrik, have you fight before? Is your stuff what you talk about sounds good? Can works under pressure? Let's solve this thing once for all. Will you ask any Thai boxer friend who is training in the formal school? Notice I'm talking about formal school. Will you ask any Thai boxing friend who train in the formal school, or MMA friend who train in the formal school where they will compete in the ring, or the Western boxing friend who train in the formal school, or Kyokushin who train the formal school? Will you ask the friend, these friends, have you guys fight? Can your staff stand under pressure? Well, you know, this so-called do you fight, do you stand, can your staff stand under pressure is a uniqueness of today's Kung Fu. As for Thai boxers, Western boxers, MMA player who is formal, who train and who went to competition, what is fighting? What is the full contact sparring? You spar in the MMA, you can have a chance to get KO. Same with Thai boxing, same with Western boxing, same with Kyokushin, isn't it? So what is fighting for all our friends in Thai boxing, in Western boxing, in MMA, in Kyokushin? What is just a part of the training? It's like you ask a surgeon, a heart surgeon, do you do surgery? Well, dome surgery is a part of the heart surgeon's educations. So only people who never go to those kinds of training asking those kind of questions. I'm a Kyokushin 50 years ago. This is start at 1973 to 77, 4 years. From white to brown black before black belt. This piece of paper show you that. I have 500 more hours of free sparring where you can get KO because you're Kyokushin, and have joined Kyokushin Open. Well, didn't everybody do that in Kyokushin training? So you want to be a heart surgeon and you never go into a surgery practice? What are you talking about? Today's Kung Fu people asking this question left and right. So why asking this kind of questions? Are you in martial art or are you not in martial arts? So are you in the heart surgeon educations or are you not a heart surgeon education and you just stand outside there questioning of the heart surgeon? So this is a part of educations. I am no Mas Oyama or the top superstar of Kyokushin who win the world karate champion or the tournament, but I follow what is the training of Kyokushin, at least in this account. I study many martial arts. So one need to put those things down, those questions down. Why? Because it doesn't make any sense at all to ask those kind of questions. Well, can one be a grandmaster if one have never go through those kind of training? Like I just mentioned, like all the Kyokushin training, by the time I'm get a brown black, I have more than 500 hours of free sparring, which is you can get KO without gear. And didn't every of my classmates do that? Didn't most of our classmates who like to study Kyokushin go into the Kyokushin Open tournament? It is a common, usual stuff. So it's like you're learning how to drive. Are you going to ask that, hey, have you go up the highway? What are you talking about? Well, I go up to the highway doesn't mean that I'm the Formula One champion. But the Formula One champion is a different story. Okay? So get that thing straight. Now, the second thing, you want to talk about fighting, test under pressure. Have you have the Kihon training here? Like in Kyokushin, how many thousand times you do roundhouse kick? And you play with a combination, all those Kihon, like Chai Kuen. I just share with you in Wing Chun. If you want to talk about Wing Chun, there's the Chai Kuen. Those are the basic. If you practice Chai Lei Fat, you also have to do Chai Kuen. And that's how you practice your Zhong, and you practice with your heavy bags and your Zhong, Mok Zhong. So it's this part, right? And you have the uniqueness. The Thai boxer will fight the Thai boxer way, the Western boxer will fight in the Western boxer way, the MMA player will fight in the MMA way, the Kyokushin will fight in the Kyokushin way, and your Wing Chun 1850 has to fight in the Wing Chun way. I just share with you. Distance is different, the body handling is different. Now, those are techniques. But guess what? If you don't have this body conditioning, will it works at all? Now I want to call your attention to this. Since bringing it up is a part of education. This under part of the training in the 1850s Wing Chun, this is the Nurture Chi or recovery. This part is aerobic base. This part is the endurance and power and speed training. Okay. So there are three types of training. So this is how it is. This is how it is. Today, we can measure it. You can track it. This endurance, how it is. Now asking everybody a question. If you want to go for compete for like the Kyokushin Open or any competition, how do you train for your sparring? How do you train? How do you train for your stamina? So many like to message me, talk big about this fighting style, straight fighting. How do you train for your endurance, your power, and your speed? Over here, in my model here, I said that this is accelerated impulse momentum handling. This is full accelerated impulse momentum handling. Do you know they are different? Let me share with you. This accelerated impulse momentum handling is an endurance training. In today's sports science, you can say that that is training in your lactic threshold or anaerobic threshold area. That is for endurance. The full accelerated impulse momentum handling is trained for your speed and power, ultimate, go to limit. There are true training there for fighting, okay? So as for this one, the full accelerate training is like this. You go jam really fast to the maximum what you can do of your body. This is for about 1 minute, and then you rest. Until you recover, you go up again for another minute. And here you see, I'm 60 something years old. I cannot handle it anymore. I only can do 2 minutes and my recovery is really bad. Because I'm 60. Is the world fair? Everybody is equal? Forget about it. That's why you want Olympic, you can see that there are weight class. And at a certain age, you don't want to do that. Because human is not equal. And the others, how long you can handle in the maximum speed and maximum power. Do you know how to train that? If you don't know how to train that, how can you go for an open tournament? And not to mention that you have to be healthy there. Otherwise, it's going to disaster. If you're keeping training here, you have no idea what it is. For the weak people, as human is not born equal. After a while of their training, if they overtraining, guess what? Their heartbeat will skip. And now, if you continue on those kinds of, when your heartbeat already skipping, like your heart pulse and it skips, you know it's trouble with your cardio already. Okay? Do you know all this thing? You want to fight? You know, asking people, oh, do you know how to fight? Can you stand under pressure? Do you know how the details of this entire thing? Hey, today is year 2022. Do you know how far already the Olympic type of training has evolved into? Like today, I share with you, the endurance training, the speed and power training, they are different training. Even though it is look like sparring. And there's the difference of the intensity, the durations, the recovery time, and the frequency. If you make it wrong, you're going to damage this body. If you do it right, you will be able to have that stamina, the endurance, the speed, and the power. But even that comes with a cost. Everything has to pay the price. So I know something like I'm not Mas Oyama, but this is basic education, like the people who go to do the heart surgery medical school. They study what is the basic of the heart surgery. Can you handle all of this? Have you go through all of this? If you never even heard what I'm talking about today, what is fighting? You don't know. If you don't know about the Kihong of the karate, you don't know about all those endurance trainings and the max power, max speed training. What is the intensity? What is the durations? What is the recovery time you need? What is the frequency you can train? What you talk about fighting? And in fact, it's a big deal. It's not a big deal. It is just a basic education who really know what they are studying. That's why Xi Xiaodong and so forth in Asia, like the Guanzhang, Chen Zhihan in Asia, and Xi Xiaodong in Asia said that you guys are not scientific at all. So keeping asking, are you fighting? Test under pressure? Test what under pressure? Don't the job of martial artists who do the fighting, this is their bread and butter. And that's why you need the VO2 max, because you need to know how do you handle that thing. So let's put the fighting down, put it aside. There are a lot of things need to study. This channel is for educations and culture, not for playing gung ho. I am a grandmaster. My student is the grandmaster student. So I'm the student of a grandmaster. Then I can pass under pressure and so forth. And yet, have you joined any open competition or tournament where you have to sign the death waiver? And then you have to have your doctor to check whether you be able to do it on here. And you have to train this, the endurance training, the power training, and the speed training. Or what are you doing? And yet, even people who go through that, it's just it's a basic education. You want to be a heart surgeon, you need to go through the heart surgeon thing. So that's what I want to share with you on fighting. Don't go asking off-topic questions. And by asking off-topic questions, people can see you have no idea what you're asking. But just big talk. Now I can ask people again. So how are you supposed to develop this endurance training and top speed and top power training? How? There is a procedure, process, method of training. Do you know? Of course, those who do the professional like Olympic, they know. But until you have the educations, what do you have? You are not even in the field. So again, I say that I'm nobody. I just go through the educations and I share with you that there's education there. So that's what I want to share with you. You know what is the Kuen and fighting. And the last thing I like to share with you here is this. Yesterday, somebody is saying that someone is teaching 6 core elements in Europe, somewhere in Europe, Italy or somewhere. Somewhere somebody is saying that, oh, Hendrik will get pissed. Let me share with you. You know why I created the 6 core element in the United States of America? Why do I create the 6 core element? I create the 6 core element so that we all can have an education, understand what is the teaching of ancient Chinese. So I want everybody to learn about it. Like for example, this is 2020, last year. Somebody write this. Okay. I want to ask you before I did this whether you're okay with it. ECT. I'm going to run a 6-13-3 course for a few people on live via Zoom, private group of 4. Is it okay with you? This is from Europe. What is my reply? Hi, go ahead, help as many as you can. Let me know if you need support. Do I asking for royalty for money? I don't. I'm helping people. Just go ahead, do it. Why? The more Wing Chuners know about it, the better it is. It's an education. If I want to run a corporation making money, I'll run it in Silicon Valley doing design, electronic design, not in the 6-13-3 education. Same thing. Here, I'm filming a course for seafood side that using your Yikam transform drill as a core base, and then they develop into other pattern of movement and coordination. I will show when finished. They have transformed how my student move. Again, my return is this. Please feel free and let me know if you need my support. Do I ask for anything? And you look at, this is all people who have fought in the ring. It's a straightforward people, it's professional. And do I support them, or I say, oh, I get pissed because you teach my 6 core element? Who cares? It is even better that the entire world know what is 6 core element. But you know what? If you teach 6 core element, you make money. That's good. You spend your time to teach the student properly, you make the money, you deserve it. I don't want 1 cent of that. I do not want 1 cent of that. I don't want 1 penny from that. Because what I'm doing is for education. Now, the only problem is this. If you have no idea what is 6 core element, you never train, you go open a class to teach your student, then you are making a karma of, first, you are lying because you don't know what is a 6 core element. Second, you are cheating. You're cheating the student, and the student, what will they know? They know anyway. They really don't know. They thought, oh yeah, this grandmaster teach me that, but end up that they are cheated. Do you think paper can cover fire? Of course it cannot. When I meet with the student of just now, the gentleman who messaged me, you know right away. And also, you talk about 6 core element. This is 6 core element. I just ask everybody, you want to go fighting? Do you know how to train the endurance? Do you know how to train the top power and top speed? Well, sorry, that's very different than your over here, your nurture chi practice where you need to drop your heart rate. Here, you need to drop your heart rate. You need to drop your breathing rate. It's very different. You want to talk about chi, internal, which is in this class, is very different. In the Western science, we know that when you get into this chi and ting training, your blood is circulate in your internal organs. The minute you get into this, the instant you get into this, your blood is actually on supporting your skeleton and your muscle. They are very different type of training. So don't give me those bullshit on internal training, Fa Jing. If you never go through this endurance and the top speed, maximum power training, there's no way you can fight. No way you can handle that your muscular, your cardiovascular and those things. And this is the blood is going back to your internal organs for your recovery. If you can do that, check it. If you can do the aerobic base, check it. If you want to go maximum, well, this is maximum. Going to max, do it and show it. Maximum 8 minutes here. If you know how to teach it, 6 core element, go teach it. I share with everybody so that everybody is educated, not living in the fantasy, internal, all this thing. And you face the Olympic trainer, you say, oh shit, what is this? How come I cannot last 3 minutes? Look at those who fight Xi Xiaodong, how long can they last? So is Xi Xiaodong have more internal or those who claim who have more internal? So 6 core element, you need it because it's the basic. But then if you want to teach people, you need to know what the heck you are talking about. Otherwise, you are cheating and you are lying. Now, it's not my business. You want to create your own karma that way, that's your problem. If those people who like to learn around, going around like that, like a cult, that's their problem. It's got nothing to do with my 6 core element. Okay, my 6 core element teaching is for all this I share with you today. And my 6 core element is for people like this. My 6 core element is for the people like this. Straightforward. They don't have to kiss ass me. And I don't want anybody to kiss my ass. It's an education. It's that you're running a university, you get this kiss ass, that kiss ass, and out there nobody know what the heck's going on. Everybody have a certificate, a grandmaster, and you go out there and people love the hell out of you. Okay. So this is what I like to share with you. As I say in this channel, for educations and the culture, let's get everybody straight. Let's make everybody win. Let's make everybody good. Stop all those grandmaster there and asking, oh, do you fight? Can your staff under pressure? It's like asking people, people who say living in the cave, asking, have you, you live in America? Have you on board on the plane? What the heck are you asking? This is year 2022. When is people going to wake up? So this is what I like to share with you today.